Why does your marriage need a reboot? How do you reset your marriage without restarting? My first company that I started on my own in Canada here right after my master's program in electrical engineering was a tech company where I helped people set up networks, computer networks, fix their computers, train them on how to build websites and things like that. And when we were doing computer support and tech support for many of these small businesses, whenever a person tells me they have a problem with their computer, there's something I always tell them to do first, and that is to reboot their computers every time. Before we do that, I ask, is there power? I view power, is this computer plugged into the power source? And if they say yes and it's working, it has this problem, that problem, and the next thing I say is, let's reboot. Not only a computer, phone is also the same thing. Recently, after we did our road trip around Canada and some states in the US, we just finished drive around Canada and the US for our summer break. Myself, my wife, and two boys. Now, my wife took a lot of pictures, and suddenly her phone stopped working. She couldn't upload pictures to Facebook. She couldn't send me the pictures by airdrop. She couldn't put them in an album and upload them. Everything was just not working. She deleted some pictures from her phone, and I asked her, how much data do you have? How much space you have left, storage space you have left on your computer, on your phone? And she told me a few gigabytes, and like 10 or so, or 20. And I said, well, that's enough, that you have more than enough space. You shouldn't be having that problem. Why not reboot the phone? And she did it, and it started to work. Now, I cannot tell you how many times I've had to just reboot a computer, and it works, and it continues to work. Now, does that mean that rebooting can fix every computer problem? No, but it can fix a lot of problems. And if it doesn't fix the problem, it isolates some areas to look at. So when you have rebooted, it gives you confidence as a technician, as a repair person and a technical support person. Then once a client has rebooted their computer and they tell me exactly what they see on the screen or whatever is happening, it gives me confidence to know that certain things have been eliminated from my troubleshooting process. Yes. So this is why every marriage needs to be rebooted. When you start life, just like a computer, as you're running through life, there are certain things that you forget to do. You may forget to slow down and see your spouse, the struggles that they're going through. You may forget to appreciate the things that they have been doing. Maybe they started doing it, you were so exciting to you, and then they've been doing it now for the past 2, 3, 4, 5 years, and it's no longer new to you, and so you're no longer appreciative of that. You may forget that. You may forget things that are precious to them. You may ignore or overlook the things that you are doing that they don't like or enjoy because of the pressures of life. And you may also be going through things that you have not even slowed down to realize that it's taking a big toll on you. Many times when we go through life experiences, maybe you got promoted at work and the work is difficult, but you've not really taken the time to realize how it impacts your spouse, and you've not discussed that. Or you lost your job and you're ashamed, and there's shame, there's fear, all that you've not processed, and you just keep life going. What happens is that it clogs your marriage, and your marriage needs a reboot. And in some cases, the marriage is just taking off, and it's taking off on the wrong foot. You just started wrong. And maybe you just right after you said you wanted to marry your wife or your husband, you began to have doubts, and you never took care of those doubts. You got married, and all your fears are now in front of you. You've never really taken the time to reboot, to check what's going on here. So every marriage needs a reboot from time to time, just like every computer does. It's funny that a computer can teach us a lot about marriage. It doesn't matter how much you love your spouse and what you're doing. If you don't reboot, you will be piling those good things on a um not a faulty foundation, but a perceived faulty foundation. And because it's perceived to be faulty, you're going to be having some tremors and some shakings that you don't need. Why not reboot and start all over again? See what's there, what needs to be really worked on, what is just a phantom a problem. Some problems are not real. They're just there because of one or two things that happened in the last couple of weeks. So that's why I always suggest a reboot. If I'm working with any person in coaching them in their marriage, I usually will start with a kind of a reboot. So, what is it? What is a reboot and what does it mean? What does it look like? First thing I want to say to you is that rebooting your marriage, it can happen even if you've been married for 45 years, 50 years, 10 years, 2 years, doesn't matter. What we're doing is a refocus on number one, what do I bring into the marriage? And number two, I want to give everything regardless of what the other person brings. That's a real simple way to describe a reboot. You're saying, I'm coming with everything I've got, all the beautiful things I've got, and I'm not going to try to get. I'm going to get any response or expectations. I'm just going to do my best to love and see whatever my spouse can give me. What we're trying to do is to bring it back to when you were dating. You know, when you find a girl that you like as a man or as a woman, someone that you really fancy, you're not thinking of what they can do for you at the first step of the your connection. You're actually trying to get them to notice you. You're trying to get them to see your worth, what you bring. And at that point, you're really focusing on putting your best foot forward. You're focusing on making sure that you know your value and you want it to be appreciated, right? Now, it doesn't mean that that's a perfect way to be. You cannot be like that all through your marriage because you're gonna begin to see the faults, and because you're seeing the faults, you really can't imagine that it's not there. It's there, but when we're trying to reboot the marriage, we ignore that for a season so that we can then approach solving it with a different mindset. And it works a lot. I discovered this when I started learning to help couples in their marriage. I noticed that a lot of people would come to me and they would have this idea that, you know what, I know what the problem in my marriage is. It is my wife, it is my husband. And I want you to really sit both of us down and tell my husband to do the right thing. Tell her to do the right tell him to do the right thing, or tell my wife to do the right thing. That's what they will come to. And I could see from what they're telling me that there's something that they can do to trigger their spouse to do the right thing, but they're not able to hear me. And then God opened my eyes to say, you know what, let's do a reboot. Teach them, show them how things can change if they just change a little bit. And I always say, you know what, let's do this. Why don't you do a 7-day experiment? And for those 7 days, you're gonna do one, two, three, four things. And after 7 days, just let me know the result. Pretend that you are right and I'm wrong, but just do what I say and get back to me and let's see what next. And over and over again, 99.9% of the time, they will come back to me and say, you know what you said to me to do, it works. It makes a difference. I never thought my wife would do that. Will respond like that. I never thought my husband would respond like that. Yes, it's normal to do that because I saw that a lot when I was working in tech too, fixing computers. Someone would tell me, look, I've been struggling with this computer all day long. It's just the mouse is broken, blah blah blah. And I'll say, you know what, let's do this. I know you've tried everything. Just bear with me. Let's just do this. Let's reboot the computer, and I'm going to do one or two things. And within minutes, the computer's going to be working, And you're going to say, "This is thing. This person knows you. It's because you're the technician. It knows. It doesn't know me. It's just that many times when we get into a tough place, we are we're not able to remove ourselves from the pain and the stress that our spouses have given to us, and so have brought to us, or life has brought. And so we are just building on some false ideas and some false impressions, and so we have these assumptions. And so what I would after learning that, I started doing that for my own life too, for my own marriage. From time to time, I would just erase all the stuff, and I would take 3 4 5 days to just be what I want to be for my spouse. And it really brings some freshness. For example, this last couple of weeks, we just shut down everything, and we stayed together and drove out together and did a lot of things together to reboot our marriage. So it is important to do that. Now, question that some may have when it comes to rebooting is, you may wonder, do I need to have my spouse with me? What kind of what if my wife or my husband doesn't want to reboot the marriage and I'm the only one working? Now, I want to say to you, the beautiful part of love is that when love is real, everybody knows it. They may not accept it because they are scared of it. They've experienced some pain before in the past, and it's going to expose some of the things that they would rather keep hidden, and so they may react negatively. But everyone knows when they are loved for who they are. And so when we're doing a love reboot, we're going to be teaching you, or you already know these things instinctively, but we're going to be standing with you to do it. And as you're doing it, even if your spouse is completely disconnected, in fact, I've used this for people who are separated and the marriage is restored. They come together and they can work from there, right? So even if that's the case, your marriage can still be restored. And so you don't need to have your spouse involved. If they want to do that, then even better. But if not, it doesn't matter, because what I'm going to be showing you to do are things that say to your spouse, "I love you." It doesn't matter what you've done or what you've not done. I do love you. And so for 30 days, we're going to be demonstrating I love you. We're going to be demonstrating I value you. We're going to be demonstrating I believe I'm called to serve you. That's what we're going to demonstrate those things for 30 straight days. And then after 30 days, we're going to have drawn out some things that you need to work on for transformation, right? Rebooting sounds like dying to the flesh, which is what Christ seeks of us, but it's just so difficult. Perfect explanation, Jason. You could be doing this teaching. That's exactly what we are talking about. You got it. You got it. You got it. I love the way you put that, and it's just Christian language, dying to the flesh, and a lot of people don't want to hear that because it's painful to the flesh, but it's life to the spirit. So you got me. You got it. I don't know what to say to that more than that. You hit the nail. Hit the nail on the head. That's what it looks like. It is putting away your fleshy way of reacting, because your spouse doesn't stop being mad or being mean or being angry or being disrespectful or being fearful or being traumatized by whatever has traumatized them in the past. But you will focus for 30 days just being God's messenger of love to them. And then when you've done that for 30 days and you're not doing it alone, you would have drawn a lot of data on things that you can work on to help move the marriage forward. And the beauty of it, the way you just said it, and the beauty of it is that you may not be the one wrong at all. In fact, you may be right all of 99% of the time, and you just need to tweak a few things in your own life. But the truth is, when you marry a person, you marry them with all their weaknesses. And there's no marriage that works when you say to them, "You go fix your problems and I'll be waiting here for you." when you marry a person, what it means is that you have married a problem with them, and so you're going to keep figuring out every day, every week, every month, every year how to position yourself to help them overcome their limitations, whether they're real or they're just your way of seeing their problems. It doesn't matter whether they're real problem that they have or you just see them having that problem. It's still the same to you, because the truth is you are having that problem from them. So you're gonna say, you know what, my wife is disrespectful to me, or for example, or if it's a wife, my husband doesn't really care about me. Okay, that's a problem. He doesn't know how to care, or she's disrespectful. Now, how can I reposition myself to help her see that I'm hurt, or this thing is limiting me in my ability to impact her and bless her, and how can I overcome that and push past that? That's what we're going to be thinking about. And so when we go rebuilding the love, and we just give love, say I love you, but not with words, sometimes with words, mostly with demonstration, it opens your eyes to so many things that you've not seen before, and it works. So thank you, Jason, for that contribution. It's powerful and it's true. You are going to have to tap into the Spirit of God. And I like to teach this when I'm doing a reboot. So during the reboot that we're going to be doing for the next 30 days, starting from the 1st of September to the 30th of September, I'm going to be teaching and explaining in short 5-10 minutes videos what real love looks like, how God demonstrates his love, and how to tap into it. The reason why it's good to do a reboot together with others is that you may feel like giving up after 3 days. You may feel like giving up after 5 days. But if you do the right thing, and you have a group of people working with you, you're submitting your wins every day. And when you feel down, you cry out. I feel like giving up. And a lot of people are going to say, no, don't give up. Let's keep pressing it.